Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 30 of Persona 4. In the last episode, we had a run-in with Kanji's shadow. Yes, he's self-conscious about the fact that he'll be rejected by men or women, which is why he formed this bathhouse and wants only men. Oh, by the way, this is an actual bad editing part on my part. I only kept the results in because of the fact that I actually do get one of the persona that is here in the vicinity that I don't have in my compendium, because my compendium is like 64% complete. There's a reason why I'm going through all the trouble of completing the compendium. Because with all the compendium completed, you actually have enough fusions to fuse, finally, Izanagi no Okami. But then again, why would you? I'll talk more about that near the end of the game. But here's the deal. We have Valkyrie, Oberion, and Eligor. I can only pick one of them. And then there's a blank card. The one thing that was preventing me from actually pick was the fact that I have a good Arcana Chance ability right now. And I don't want something like Death Reverse, which will take away all of my SP. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. Death Reverse is a pain in the ass. If that ain't much, I do believe Wheel of Fortune Reverse is another one that you have to watch out for, because it'll turn all the treasure chests into monster chest. One of which will have the Reaper. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. But on the bright side, if you want a challenge to try to look for the Reaper, shoot for the Fortune Reverse. But for the time being, we have preemptive strikes for the rest of this dungeon, or until the effect wears off, which it will by the end of the dungeon. So at this moment, I'm going to put back on Sarasvati, which is why I got her in the first place, because I need to replenish SP. Look at my SP from the recent battle I did. I pretty much used up a lot of SP. But then again, when you stop and think about it, enemies are taking normal damage. At least some of them are. And not to mention, there are some who have pretty strong endurance. So you're practically spamming magic to take down these sponges here. And I wouldn't actually suggest spamming light and dark, even though there are some enemies that are weak to light and dark, because of the fact that light and dark costs more SP than every other spell in the entirety of the game. Okay, every other basic spell in the entirety of the game. I gotta get that correct. Because Megiadolan costs a lot. So does Megiadola, and so does Megiddo. And also Blessed Sword. They cost a lot of... No, Blessed Sword's the worst, because that attack takes out your HP. Even though it's an almighty attack, it still causes a lot of damage to you to damage the opponent. I know it's high risk, high reward, but damn. Oh yeah, for the record, the only persona that actually can use that sort of attack is, if I'm not mistaken, Metatron. And, oh, we found ourselves a new enemy. Pursuing Pesque. Oh boy, these things. Let them go unchecked, they will summon Phantom Hands. And Phantom Hands, unlike these things, are weak to wind, while these things are weak to light. And that's all they're weak to, is light. And here's the problem with some of the enemies that are weak to light. Light and dark are the most inaccurate spells in the game, obviously because they're one-hit kills. Well, so far I haven't ran into the Reaper, so let's just keep going, and I think I made a wrong turn. So we're getting out the door, and we're going about our merry business. And that shadow is still chasing us. It's okay, it's okay. It stops after a while. So let's just go up to the next floor, which is floor 5. And the higher and higher we go, the more and more Kanji is in conflict with himself. He's talking about pride. And more importantly, he's trying to keep all of his repressed feelings in check. And I managed to only make 2,000 yen. Hopefully I get more yen by the end of this stage. Otherwise, I'm going to have to make a retreat because I don't have the money to replenish all of my SP. And again, these enemies are sponges, basically. God forbid, 2 rooms from now, we're going to have ourselves a mid-boss fight. Let's just keep going and not get attacked. Because yes, I think that was a hard enemy, but I haven't actually seen all the enemies because I was trying to pass through and there's a good chance some of them are repeats. I will show off what I did not actually get. Oh, whew. I thought that was the Reaper chest. I'm pretty sure I ran into one on the way here. Or at least on the way to floor 7. And we've got the advantage against Vicious Ravens. Just like the counterpart in the Castle of Yukiko. They're weak to thunder. So basically, use thunder, get rid of them, no problem. However, I will have to warn you. Things like this will happen. And sometimes the Galactic Punt inadvertently attacks down enemies. I was about to warn you that this was going to happen, but past me inadvertently pressed the button and Chie punted the Vicious Raven out of existence. But sometimes Chie's Galactic Punt don't work and you'll end up missing a opportunity to capitalize on a whole group of enemies because you've got their weakness and they're like the same enemy in the same battle group. And Chie's Galactic Punt would fuck up the flow, although it does kill instantly. Unfortunately for Chie, again, it doesn't work on bosses, it doesn't work on mid-bosses, but more importantly, the unfortunate thing for Chie is her accuracy is pretty low. And also the frequency that she tends to use that move. I mean, Yosuke has a follow-up too, and it's decent at best. It'll cost a critical. But Chie's is instant kill. We're now at floor 6. Alright. We just need to traverse through the rest of this floor. I mean, it's not as long as floor 3 with the actual room that goes nowhere. Meanwhile, Kanji is simply excited to have visitors. Oh boy. That does not sound good. And did he just say toodaloo? Who says that anymore? Whatever, let's just go. But I gotta be careful of chests. You never know what's inside. Oh, and sorry if you can hear any noise in the background. I'm trying to move my seat up a little bit more. And that's all that is. And by the way, I think that led to somewhere else. I'll check that out later. Right now, let's check the other side, because there's more places I could go. And, of course, I run into an enemy that I've already beaten, so I don't show that off. Alright. We just need to continue on and... Ooh, treasure chest! Oh, thank goodness, that did not have a Reaper in it. Thank the Lord. I thought that it would be this part, but it would probably be part 31. I know for a fact I ran into a chest that had the Reaper in it in this, not this part, in the next part, but definitely in this dungeon. I mean, it would be foolish to take him on, because you would easily die. The fact that the Reaper will show up is a testament to how dangerous New Game Plus can be. Except in Golden, the Phantom can show up at any time, and you will not stand a chance if you challenge him. So, let's go on ahead and get our way through Floor 6, because I know for a fact Floor 7 is going to be the mid-boss. Alright, let's just get through this door here. And that's where the exit is. Which means one thing. What I was about to do was actually go completely the opposite direction when I did what I did. Oh! Wondrous Magus. You're only going to be doing normal damage to this thing. This is the reason why I said that it's going to take all of my magic to defeat the enemies here. This right here is another creature that has no elemental weaknesses and everything does base damage. And that would mean that even physical attacks would actually hurt it, but not give you any extra boost of damage unless you use things like Power Charge, or Focus, or Heat Riser. Which, by the way, none of my Persona has on hand. I mean, I know I have Heat Riser on another group of Personas, at least 2 of them. I don't have it now, because I can't really afford it, basically. So, let's just leave. Let's gain a level. And let's go on about our merry business. Ooh, wait. Yosuke gained a level. That's fantastic. And so did Chie. That means Chie will end up getting a new skill at level 20. So that's basically the next level. Although the Emperor effect had worn off, it's okay though. At least we got what we wanted. Could you excuse me one second? Alright, I'm back. I had to step away for a little bit. You know, when nature calls. Well, let's just put it to you like that. Anyway, I just recently got a fire pin. Oh, excuse me. And honestly, I should give that to Chie. Because after all, Chie does not need to be attacked by fire attacks. And she doesn't even have anything to protect herself. So that should help. So on that note, let's heal everybody again. Because we're going to need it, because I do believe we are reaching the 7th floor. As a matter of fact, let's see if I have any more. Ah, tap soda, perfect. I'm just going to use all the tap soda and prepare ourselves. Because this is the 7th floor, ladies and gentlemen. And we're about to head on to a mid-boss. Alright. If we go through the door, we're... Oh, wait, hold on. I thought it was going to be like, you go through this door, we'll be right into the mid-boss. At least for the most part, there's a level before we get to the mid-boss. I'm pretty sure they actually have 2 dungeons that do something like this, and one of which is my least favorite dungeon, which just so happened to be Void Quest. But this is the room right here, and this is the door that leads straight to Kanji. Although there is no speaking parts here, you are about to face off against a Daring Gigas. Now, I bet you're wondering what's this whole complaint about me saying that Atlas reuses common enemies as bosses. This is a perfect example. The other one being the Avenger Knights in the previous dungeon. So on that note, we're going to have our hands full. Because unlike the Daring Gigas that you happen to face, well, leading up here, the Daring Gigas in this castle just so happens to be the mid-boss, meaning we're not too far from the home stretch, but also it has a pattern. And not to mention, it's not weak to much. Everything's going to do normal damage to it. And I do mean everything. And the pattern is real simple. It's going to power charge. It's going to stay focused, I think. Or was it supposed to use Rebellion? It takes 3 turns for it to actually attack. So, once it does, it will attack. Unfortunately, it'll just keep spamming skills if it runs out of SP to buff, which it will after the 3rd turn of it doing that. Now, that should have been the part if I used, Dekaja. That could have actually made this fight go a lot faster. And Jesus Christ, that's what happens when you actually don't use Dekaja, because, good lord, even when blocking, Yukio took half of her life. It's okay though. We'll just have to use physicals to try to wear it down. This is the 2nd turn that it's going to be doing that. Alright, just need to use some healing items and some guarding. We'll be just fine. But once we get past the 3rd time of him doing it, he's fair game. Although it's 960 still, he is weak to, well, I should say, not weak, but rather, Megadolan does more damage than everything that we got. Now we're going to have to unfortunately wait till I get enough money so that I can pull that off. And also enough levels so that I can pull that off. Because even if we got higher persona, the level it takes to actually use their attacks is probably higher. And for those of you who are not understanding what I mean some of the higher persona has higher casting spells, and if you try to buy them and bring them into battle, you're not going to have enough SP to at least activate one spell from those guys. So yeah, we'll just have to keep beating it down, and we've already faced this guy. He's practically going to pretty much use the same 3 tricks until his SP runs out. Honest to God, I should have got anybody that could have reflected physicals, or at least used a physical mirror so that it could actually kill himself. Ah, there we go. That's what needed to be done. We just had to get rid of its defense, at least. So just a little bit more, and we'll probably get to the end of this battle. I'd say a good couple of rounds of Megiddo, that ought to do it. Or maybe I could just switch to Sarasvati and just use Victory Cry to heal myself in return. It doesn't matter. The fact is, so long as you're using magic instead of physicals, these creatures will go down real quickly. Or that creature, basically. But it's pretty much the same with the whole entire dungeon. Some of them are actually rehashers of fights you've already been in. And you're practically facing the fights as boss fights. And it will get a little bit tedious later on, if not a lot tedious. But once you get the appropriate level, you can breeze, or at least appropriate weapons, you can breeze through the rest of the game. Although there is that red herring boss that actually will cause some problems. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I mean, I have nothing to talk about. His 3 techniques that he uses, he can't do because he's out of SP. Oh wait, he's got one. He's out of SP completely. So we just basically let him keep having hope that he'll actually do something. Or Chio will just kill him, one of the two. It doesn't matter. We won this fight. That takes care of the Daring Gigas that happened to be in this area. Meaning one thing, all we have to do is get through the rest of the stage. Oh, and for the record, we couldn't even proceed past this stage without getting the bathhouse key. Because the room leading to the portal is locked. And I mean locked. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we just need to leave this area and we need to get to Hall 8, because then we'd probably be literally in the home stretch, because we only got 3 more floors before we face Kanji. We have to find the ending. The area first before we actually do something about it. Let's see. Nothing here. And let's just keep going. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. We finally got a life stone at least. Having a life stone is fantastic. Oh, sorry about that. I was just hoping and praying that that wasn't a Reaper in the box, and it wasn't, thank God. But we still have a lot of this dungeon to discover. Let's see what's here. Selfish basalts. Let's see. They're weak to everything. No, I'm not kidding. They are weak to everything except for physicals, and Almighty is the only thing that they resist. Meaning, if I was smart, I would have used Mahama and basically killed them all. I was also trying to be cautious because this same color comes up later on, and lo and behold, every single one of these enemies would be weak. It would actually drain elements. But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. This monster here is resistant to Almighty. Guess what all-out attacks are, Almighty? So I'm just gonna have to spam weaknesses until we actually get them down and we can just skip out on them. Or I could just foolishly rush into them like chickens with my head cut off and get a terrible end result, which is nothing. Now, if I'd have known that, or at least remembered that Selfish Basalt was weak to almost all elementals, I probably would have spammed elementals on all of them by now. But I did not think, and that's where my problem lied. Or did not remember, one of the two. And Yosuke's down again. Y'all gonna keep picking on Yosuke, and I'm gonna fuck you guys up. Seriously. And I think I got one of them at least. We'll just try Magaru one more time. If it doesn't dizzy, it'll more than likely kill him. Alright, Yosuke's back up. Let's finish this. And we are done. Whew! That takes care of that. And next time, if I ever run into those creatures again, I am not going to waste any time. I just didn't think about it because I completely forgot about what those creatures could do. Well, at least Kuchi actually gained all of its skill, almost all of its skills. That one that he had to gain was the most important one, which is Tresto, which, although it uses SP, it does not need a go-home, basically. It's more along the line of an SP-based go-home, which is actually pretty cool because of the fact that you don't have to spend the go-home to, well, leave. So I'm just going to go on ahead and heal everybody, and we're going to go straight to the 8th floor if I can find it. I'm pretty sure that is this room right here. Bingo! Before we do, there is probably some places we need to explore. Which is... oh, it's a soul drop. Awesome. I thought for a second that... oh, there's a whole entire section we missed. You know what? I don't feel like it. I'm going to probably end it here. I mean, I'm going to come back to this dungeon because there is quests whenever we have to open up another dungeon. Kanji is in conflict with himself now. For real this time. As we're getting closer and closer to saving Kanji on the 22nd of May, even though his deadline is on the 4th of June, I think it would be a great time to stop here. I'll see you guys back here in part 31 next week when we finish off Kanji's dungeon, or at least get to floor 11 in part 31. And in part 32, we take on Kanji himself. See you guys next time.